has to say that the foundation of Carthage had taken place in the 9th century BC, and the founder of Carthage is believed to be Elisa Dido, the queen. Well, this lady who did found Carthage came from Phoenicia. You know, Phoenicia is the actual coasts of Syria, Lebanon, and Israel. You could say Israel, you could say Palestine. Let's say both. Well, one of the major cities of Phoenicia was called Tyre. It still exists. It's situated in the south of Turkey. Yes, and the Queen Elisa came from there. She was actually the daughter of after the death of her father, her brother became the new king. Her brother's name was Pygmalion. He became the new king, and in the meantime, his sister got married to a man who was an extremely rich person and who was also her uncle. At that time, it was absolutely normal to have your uncle as a husband, okay? So, what happened here? The new king came to power. His sister was married to her and his uncle, of course, and the new king was extremely jealous about the wealth of his uncle. And, well, he killed him. He did assassinate him. Before his assassination, the husband of Dido was feeling the threat, and he said to his wife, I'm quite sure that somebody's going to kill me. So if ever such a thing happens, you should know that I love you, and you should know where is the place where all my treasures are hidden. He did show her the secret place, okay? So after the death, of course, the king, Pygmalion, he did not find any treasure, and he did not have doubt about his daughter, because he saw her always by herself, always crying, and she was acting like as if she didn't know that he was the killer of her husband, okay? As if he was killed by somebody else. But she was very clever. She was preparing her evasion. She wanted to go away, to leave that place, because she was feeling really threatened by her own brother. It took a few months to her to convince a certain number of people to go with her, because she could not run the risk to go by herself. She did convince nearly 300 rich men of the city of Tyre to go with her. Those people did accept, because they were feeling really threatened by this new king. They wanted to save their lives and their wealth. So they had left the area of Tyre by sea. It's obvious, it's completely logical to flee by sea, because these people were very good sailors. So the safest way is to go by sea. They went for a trip, but without destination. They could not know where they were going to. So the Queen Dido was with 300 men by herself, a unique female on board, and she didn't want to run the risk to travel with them for a long time. So they did stop on an island called Cyprus in the Mediterranean. Yeah. And they took with them the virgins. They had taken with them a certain number of virgins with whom they did practice what we call sacred prostitution. Sacred prostitution. It means that they wanted to save the race. And that's why they took them with them. They did sail for nearly 4 months. They did cross a distance of 2,800 kilometers from Lebanon till here, and they stopped here in this gulf, almost 3,000 years ago. This gulf, which we call now the Bay of Tunis, or the Gulf of Tunis. Well, when the Queen Dido came here with her people, we should not forget that she was not an invader. She had no army with her. She had those 300 rich men their main influence was the fact that they had on board a lot of gold and silver, and this lady had to stop here and find a solution because the trip could not go forever, you know. So when she came here, the whole country was under the tight control of the natives. I mean here the Berbers. So the Berbers are the owners of the land. If you don't get any permission from them, you could not stay. And this is why the Queen Dido was an extremely beautiful, they say, that she was a beautiful woman and a very intelligent woman. So she had started negotiations with the Berber king, and she said to him, I do accept all your conditions. I'm going to give you all what you want, to buy from you a piece of land. I need a piece of land which is as small as the skin of a cow. Well, the skin of a cow, I mean, it's nothing. It's a small piece, one piece of land. Yeah. But the Berber king, thinking that she was so ridiculous, he had given her a piece of skin, and he said, you put it wherever you want, and I promise I'll give you that piece of land, and I will leave you in peace with your people. So she took the skin from him, and she started cutting it into very thin and long strips. And then she said to him, this is what I need. You see, the territory had become much bigger with this very intelligent idea, and the Berber king had understood how clever she was. He had given the strips, you know, to his topographs, and they did start measuring the size of this hill with the strips. And it was more or less the same size. And this is the reason why he gave her this hill, and he said to her, you can stay with your people peacefully. I won't bother you. And this is why we call this hill Birsa Hill, B-Y-R-S-A, which means the hill of the skin of the cow.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the idea which had given birth to Carthage. This is how Carthage was founded. And this is why she called it Kart Hadash, new village, because it was a tiny village in the beginning. Then it became a very big town, because these people did practice immediately after the foundation of their city. They did practice trade with the others, with the outside world, and they were able to become a strong military and also a commercial superpower. So, the first temples, the first monuments of Carthage were built here. Now, when Carthage was destroyed by the Romans in the year 146 BC, and 70 years later they did decide the reconstruction of Carthage, well, the Romans were extremely interested by this hill. They said, the hill is full of history. It was the center of the city of the ancient Carthage. It offers a very interesting overall view. So why don't we make of this hill also our city center as a Roman Carthage? And this is why they did do a big effort to, let's say, modify somehow the shape of the hill, because, you know, if we compare the Carthaginian monuments with the Roman ones,